Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. Chris Nolan grew up in New York until he joined the U.S. Marine Corps in 1996. He then joined the U.S. Capitol Police until making the transition to real estate. Shortly after, the Nolan Group was formed. They continue to strive for the best possible experience for buyers and sellers. How can they help you in your journey? And now, here's The Nolan Show with your host, Chris Nolan.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Nolan Show. So glad you tuned in and I'm glad you decided to spend a little time with us today. So I'm here with Heather Lewis. How you doing today, Heather?
I'm doing great.
And of course we got Jesse behind the controls. How you doing, Jesse?
Hey. Hey, great, Chris. How are you?
Now, if Jesse's messing up, we're all in trouble. So, we're just going to put that out there. But, it's been busy the past couple weeks, all over the place. And we didn't bring anybody in here today because I wanted to talk with Heather because, Heather, you just listed a couple of homes, a home and a condo down south.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are out there and they kind of take for granted the fact of what it takes to list a home.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we do is we make it easy for everybody, and we bring all those services, to their doorstep for them. Now you got these two homes,
right?
There was some work to be done to get these two ready for market, was there not?
There was. I mean, we could start with the Boca listing.
Yeah.
So in Boca Raton, down in Boca Chica, we have a condo, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a den, and it is still available. And it needed to be cleaned out beforehand. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a lot of work. And then, of course, go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the owner was not around to do that anymore. And, so we actually were down there along with actually some helpers because there was a lot of work to be done.
Some other team members.
Yep.
And their family members.
Family members. I mean, all the resources came out and got it cleaned out. Now it's a great unit.
It is a great unit.
It's beautiful.
It overlooks the pool and the backyard,
Yeah. So it took a little bit to do. And then now once you got that, right, there was some more to do because you had to coordinate with the condo association.
Yes. That's if we all know HOAs and condo associations aren't always the easiest, but it's there's a lot of work, and they actually were doing a lot of changes to the condominium. And when I say that, I mean the whole building.
Right.
So they've repainted. Everyone's redone their screens. They've done some structural stuff, I think, to the lanai. They were saying the whole parking lot is being redone. So they've definitely done a lot of upgrades.
Right.
So, yeah, it looks really good.
Pretty neat little unit. If you're looking at the condo life, that's one way of going it. But then you also listed a single family here, which was a nice split floor plan.
Yes. 2 bedrooms on one side and the master bedroom on the other side, which is really great. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, fenced in backyard. It's a beautiful home. The owner has redone everything. Let me get that. But it's a little under 2,000 square feet, almost a quarter of an acre. It's just a really great property. I mean, he's put all new stainless steel appliances in, new hot water heater. The AC is fairly new with an extended warranty. You name it, and it's got it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to point out because we talked about it being a split floor plan. Now, a lot of our Florida residents, they know what a split floor plan is. But if you're from up north, and a lot of our listeners and watchers are from up north, they're not familiar with the split floor plan. I think the split floor plan is one of the best inventions ever. Right? Because you have your one-level Rambler, which a lot of people love down here. And you have the owner's suite on one side, and you have the other bedrooms on the other side of the home with the common areas in the middle.
Yes.
So it works out great because if you want to entertain, have family over for holidays or whatever it is, you got plenty of space. But when everybody goes to sleep, you have your space on the one side. If you got kids, they're on the other side of the house. You can almost all of them. You can barely hear them on the other side. Usually, if you just put a little bit of sound insulation.
We just talked about that this weekend because your home is completely opposite from my home, and just meaning the layout.
Right.
And I wanted an open floor plan. When I lived up north, we didn't have an open floor plan.
Right.
everything was divided, and it was, I didn't like it. My husband loved it because he always wanted a space so he couldn't hear the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when we came here, of course, we got the one level, and like you said, split floor plan. You saw my eyes get big. Like, wait a minute, split floor plan.
Yeah.
But yes, so we have 2 bedrooms on one side and 2 bedrooms on the other side, which one is my office, so it makes it real easy next to my bedroom. But it's open floor plan.
Right.
So what does that mean? I mean, there's good and there's bad. I love it. It's beautiful. When you walk in, you can see everything. But of course, thank goodness I still don't have 5 kids at home. That's the only thing. And that we so appreciate it. When we walked into your home, we were like, yes.
Now, I would say I'm glad I don't have 5 kids at home, but it'd be creepy if I had 5 kids at home because I don't have 5 kids. So if I ever said that, people would have to wonder what the hell's going on over there.
But no, now tell me about your floor plan. I know we talked a little bit about it this weekend. Did you go looking for the split?
Well, yeah.
Or not the split, but...
Well, I definitely wanted a split floor plan when I was looking. Believe it or not, the house that I chose, and this is why I always want to have those deep conversations with my clients, because even with me doing this every day, when I went looking for my house, I had a whole list of houses I was looking at, over the course of a couple of days. And the house that I'm in now was the last on the list, and I almost cut it from my list because when I looked at it, I was like, this is not the house. It doesn't have what I want. And almost didn't even look. And wound up going, I was like, let me just stop by anyway. Walked through the front door, I was like, this is my house. And I love the house. It's got a great floor plan. It is a split floor plan. It's not quite as open as some others, but the lanai opens up throughout the whole thing.
Your
and then
lanai is amazing.
Yeah. So, and that's what, for me, that's what really sold me on the house, having just the access to the water, the big windows. It's wide open.
Well, and you were talking about getting prepared for whether it's buyers or sellers. I mean, sellers is one thing because we go in, we look at everything and how our own buyers are going to come in and look.
Yes.
And how what the inspectors are looking for and what the appraisers are looking for.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of work. We don't just come in and say, here, this is what, we want to list your home for. There's so many moving parts.
Well, especially right now, with the way the market has shifted, we still have plenty of great buyers out there. We have plenty of sellers out there, but the problem we have is the market has shifted. So some people are still in the mindset that we were a year ago, and that doesn't work anymore.
No.
And you can get a great house, you can get financed. We can get a lot of houses with financing because a lot of the cash is not as big of a concern anymore. So there's a little bit more room for a buyer to get a good deal on a house right now, which is awesome.
Yeah, and not so much the list, the price in the home, but like we've said on other shows about buying down the rate, asking for closing help and buying the rate. That's something that we speak to all of our sellers about right now. I mean, this is the market for it. So buyers are getting either closing help if they need it or buying down the rate.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on,
Well, it's all about terms, right? What are the terms? The terms of a year ago were different because it was just a different type of buyer. Right. Now the buyers that we've had that have been on the fence, they're a lot of younger buyers or move-up buyers that are using these different loan products. They can still get a great product and get a great home, and they're able to work some of those finer details in. So they're not going into a complete renovation if they don't want to.
That is so true. That is so true. I mean, so many of them are coming in and, they're pretty much as is down here. But if there is something wrong or if there's something that they want, you're able to, maybe get something fixed.
So the funny thing about that is that's just common practice to use the as-is contract, but you can use a standard contract if you choose to. You just have to make sure that, when you're talking with your realtor, that you have to express what it is that you're looking for. So, but there's a lot of great houses out there. Every house has a little something with it. And a matter of fact, we were actually talking about it earlier, is the flow of the house, the floor plans and all that stuff. And we were talking about before the show about the kitchens. Right? We're coming into the holidays. We just had that Halloween party this last weekend. You were there. Most of the team was there. We had a great time. But it really helps you identify where you need more or less space.
That is so true.
And coming into, we got Thanksgiving, we got, Christmas and all the other holidays. People are going to be gathering in their houses, and they're going to find out whether or not they got a big enough kitchen, or and if it flows right.
If it flows right. And it's funny that you say that, and I know that we're about to take a break, but I would like to come back and talk about that and what we actually were looking for when we purchased the house. Because when we go down that list, like you said, don't take it off your list. Right. Because all it takes is just that feeling. And
absolutely.
If that is your home, that's your home. And I know when I purchased this home, there were so many things that I wanted that it didn't have, or that I wanted to change. But it was. Let's
talk about that, and we'll take a quick break. But yeah, absolutely, that's true on so many fronts. So guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Even with all this financial uncertainty, real estate is still the best tool to build wealth. Whether you're looking at investments or using your real estate to provide a legacy, let us show you the way. I'm Chris Nolan of the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. Visit mynexthomefinder.com.
Other lawnmower places may be struggling, but More Motors has an unfair share of inventory. An extra truckload of mowers just came in, so take advantage now. More Motors has more lawnmowers than you've got blades of grass. As a Cub Cadet dealer, More Motors has zero-turn riding mowers and walk-behind mowers galore. Their unfair share of inventory is going fast. More Motors, your Cub Cadet dealer. 5135 US 1 Vero Beach. Anything and everything it takes to make tall grass short. More Motors.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs, including lots of slipcover styles from Universal, Four Seasons, and Capri. We also have a gallery of Tommy Bahama and Lexington with styles designed for a relaxed approach to the finer things in life. We're having a fall sale with lots of great markdowns, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet and closeout store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day.
For 67 years, Sturgis Lumber and Hardware has been here for the people of Vero Beach. Through ups, downs, even hurricanes, Sturgis stands tall, 4 generations strong. Open weekday mornings at 7. Don't go west. Stick with the best. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Hey everybody, glad you're still there. I'm still here in the studio. I'm here with Heather and Jesse, and we were just talking about what it takes to go into homes, and we were just about to start talking about the selection process. Yes. And Heather, you chose your house. You came down from the Maryland area, very similar to what I did.
And I could tell you, I drove my agent crazy.
I wasn't her agent, folks.
No, darn it. But anyway, no, I did. I drove him crazy. Well, the area, it was tough because I wanted specific areas, but didn't end up at all. Ended up a lot further north. Okay. But let's go into about the house because you're talking about feng shui. Mm-hmm. I mean, my main thing was I had to have at least 4 bedrooms. Okay. Because I only have 2 at home, but I have kids that come home. Okay. And I needed an office. My husband needed an office. Really would have liked a 5-bedroom, and that's why I did choose my house, because it had everything I needed when it came to the 5. Okay. There was still a lot of updating I needed to do, and but my main thing was I wanted to get a dining room table that was big enough to have my family, because my family lives down here. A lot of my family, not all of them, and I wanted all my kids to be able to come home and finally have a table that sits everyone. Okay. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we pulled up little stools. Yeah, that's a pretty serious table you got there. Yes. How many does it fit? For a, 10, 11 chairs? Something like that? Yeah, I know it's big. Yeah, and I could probably pull up a couple more. But yeah, it was perfect. And that's actually the living room. But how she had it set up, she had the dining. And if she didn't have it set up like that, and that's probably another thing, trying to figure out furniture when you're looking at homes. Yeah, well, it's funny because you say that because, I did new construction for years. Mm-hmm. And
people get wrapped around names and all that stuff. And I'd pull up a floor plan and they're like, oh, it has an exercise room. I don't want to exercise. Like, you know what? You don't have to exercise in the room. Right. You can turn it into a TV. Right. You can turn it into an ice cream and donuts room if you wanted to. Right. But I mean, but people get caught up when they see the name, so we got to keep it kind of neutral. Yeah. That's part of the setting it up for the listing. But so you were saying
so
about
our dining room, the dining room is actually when you first walk in the door to your left, but it's smaller and it's more square, right? Sort of, kind of. But the living room, we changed into the dining room, which is right, off the kitchen, which makes sense. I still have that little space that I want to make like a little coffee bar where you can put a little table and chairs, but I just have it. I have so much space right now because we still have the bar too with the chairs. So, but anyways, it all works, and it was so great having all the kids home. But that was my main thing. I'm glad she had it like that so I could see it. Right. But like you said, you kind of got to see through all of that.
You got to feel it. Yeah. You got to feel it when you go in. My house, like you said, you had your criteria. When I was looking for mine, I wanted a 3-car garage, a double lot, and a pool, and I would have taken any one of those. Right. The house I chose had none of those. But I've been there for 4 years in that particular house, and I love the house. Yeah. So it really is just finding that house. And they call out to you.
Yeah, they do. They do call out to you. I wanted extra garages because, you and my Chris are crazy when it comes to cars, motorcycles, and just whatever. But I also wanted a fenced-in backyard. I didn't have a fenced-in backyard, but you put in a fence. Yeah. I mean, if it works for you. Yeah. It has to work for you.
And that is one of the great things about buying a house right now. We can use those products like the construction loans, the 203K, the renovation loans, stuff like that. So if you have somebody that has a very specific need like that, we can actually take a house that's pretty close, that has the bones of what they want, and fix it up any which way they want. Yep. So,
do you remember what the cap is for the one renovation loan?
Well, are you talking about the 203Ks with the...
Yes.
Yeah. So you're thinking about the big Ks and the little Ks.
I'm talking about the little K because a lot of people don't realize about the little Ks.
Yeah, I mean, so basically they operate very, very much the same. It's a renovation loan. The short answer to that is what they call as a little K in the industry is anything under $30,000 or under $30,000 and it doesn't need structural repairs, right? So if you what that means to you as the home buyer is you can do all the coordinating with the contractors yourself. Once you have structural repairs or we go over $30,000, it just requires an extra step, and you have to hire a consultant, which is like $600-700. Yeah, and it's not that big of a deal if you're getting a great house and you're going to have some equity in it. But it's just that extra step, and the bank does that to make sure that the repairs are actually done to their standards because they're backing the asset.
Yep. So it still needs to appraise. So they need to make sure it all makes sense.
Now, it is kind of cool because with that type of loan, you can do things that need like some smaller items like paint and stuff like that. You can actually do those items yourself. They will allot for the money when you do the loan. But as long as they say, all right, it's been done to our specifications, they're good. As long as it's something that doesn't need technical experience, they'll let the homeowner do it. So you can save some money there, and then it just comes off the top of the loan, and you're just not paying for it. And then once you're done with all the renovations, most people typically refinance into a lower interest, full-term 30-year type product. So, I mean, there's so many different products out there, and it all depends on the particular client's needs and what they're looking for. And we're looking at the same thing when we're working on listing a house. What products are going to qualify for this particular house that we're about to list? We're in Florida. Roofs are a huge concern, right?
That's all I ever hear. How old's the roof? How old's the roof?
Well, you know what? We have great insurance companies, and we can get the house pre-qualified through an insurance company so that they know what the rates are going to be going in. Okay? Now there's no questions, right? So we have that. Some of the things that, rotting wood, things like that, little things that you may not be paying attention to. We're in Florida. There's 2 houses here, ones that have had termites and ones that will have termites, right?
I did not like that when I heard that when I first moved down here. I said, what does that mean? But yes.
It is what it is. If you treat the house, you're good. It's just, unfortunately, there's people out there. We all know that, know people that do this. They just fail to maintain whatever it is, their car, their house, whatever. Yeah. And that's why you have people broken down on the side of the road, and, houses that are falling apart and the whole bit. So it just, but then again, that house that's falling apart, you might be able to get a good deal on it and put some sweat equity in.
Yes. And
all of a sudden, you as a young homeowner, it's not fun to live through a renovation in your own home. But if you take the time and it's livable, right? That's usually the caveat. I don't care if it has 72 shag carpet.
Right.
I can still move in, and you renovate one room as you go. And that's a way for a younger person, younger couple, whatever it is, to really generate some equity into their first home that then they transfer into that next and larger home if they choose to.
I think a lot of people, it's tough for them to see that, whether it's just paint or some little bit of rotting wood. They think that, oh, this is no good. This house is horrible. Oh, it just, it just takes a little bit, like you said, a little bit of sweat. And
yeah. And between you and I and the rest of the team, with the amount of homes and new construction and everything else that we've done, we can take that knowledge and help you guys to really understand what it would take. You just said you live in a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom. Okay, but the main house is 4 bedrooms,
you're right? Because
right?
I have
and you have 2 bedrooms on one side and 2 bedrooms on the other side. Now, I already said that I don't have kids at the house, so I want my side of the house to myself. So. Right. Now, you're laughing, but think about it, right?
No, because our little house on the side that has that other bedroom is where Chris goes and hides. But go ahead.
But no, so if I was the realtor having someone like me coming into that house, and I'm cringing because of the thought of having a house guest right in the room with an adjoining wall.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's not really what I want. Right. But how easy would it take to cut a temporary hole for the time that I own the house and turn that into a sitting room?
There you go.
Right?
Yep.
So now all of a sudden I have this huge master suite that is very cost effective when I go to sell it to turn it back into a true 4-bedroom.
Yep.
Or if I have a young couple, we just family friends of mine, they just bought a house and it's a 4-bedroom. The same thing, 2 bedrooms over here, 2 bedrooms over there, but they have a baby, so they want the baby in the adjoining room.
Right.
So, again, you have to look at, what is right for each person.
And what can you do to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Minimal work. Yeah. We came in and we knew we had work to do, but we could have found something that had, I wouldn't say that it was super outdated, but, more updated and a little bit further down south where, I had family that I wanted to be a little bit closer to, but I would have spent that extra money a lot more than it would have been to fix up what I needed. And it was just an extra, 15, 20 minutes down the street. So
yeah, it's all, location. So, but that's awesome. But the bottom line is, guys, if you guys are listening to this, we could talk about this for hours on the flow of the house and the styles and all this stuff. And there's so many great houses out there and there's so many different ways to do them. But sit down with us, have a conversation, because if you're looking for something and you can't quite grasp it or put your finger on it, we can help you to identify some of the things that would make that house a home for you. Right?
Absolutely.
And that's what we do every day between new construction, renovating homes, pre-existing homes, whatever it is that you're looking for, we can do that. But it just takes a little bit of time. Sit down, get to know you, what you're looking for, and we can help drive you into that right area so you know what you're getting.
That's so true.
So whether you're buying or selling, we're here. And as always, our team is growing. And don't forget we're going to sponsor those 2 veterans too. So don't forget to email me. If you're thinking about becoming a realtor, email me at cnolan@thenolangroup.com. Veteran or not, it's just this is for celebrating all of our veterans this month.
Yes.
We got some great stuff going on, but
we've got our grand opening coming up.
Yeah, grand opening, November 10th. Come on down, 601 21st Street in Vero Beach, Suite 100. But guys, we're out of time, so we're gonna have to cut out of here. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody out there. Remember to follow us on Facebook, follow us to your new home, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.